nieder, ihr Leidl, jetzt passt auf. Die Senderin von Kraxelwang, die melkt von einer Kuh. Jeden Tag ein Fassel möchte er immer noch dazu. Wie das Feuerwerk in Kraxelwang, da ist die Senderin flitzt. Ob in ihrer besten Kuh das Feuer niederspritzt. Ja, da legst du nieder und stehst immer auf. Ja, da legst du nieder, da jodelt jemand drauf. Trifft der Edelweiß von der Karwindelspitz. Und Gamsbart oder Hundebeiß, da fragst dich, ob das geben. Ja, der schürst dann Gamsbart und lass die Viecher leben. Ja, du legst die nieder und stehst immer auf. Ja, du legst die nieder und dich wieder drauf. Auf geht's noch.
The Odin is a Tier 8 German premium, and yet another German premium battleship, proving that there is always a German battleship for any type of Warships playing this game. This dockyard German premium is a direct upgrade from the Scharnhorst, the iconic German ship that has way too many pronouns for the average people to care about, and just as old as that Team Fortress knockoff. The Odin maintains the armor scheme from the Scharnhorst and added hydroacoustic surge, topped off by bigger gun and higher speed. But remember, this is a German battleship made after Tirpitz glory days, back when people had genuine fun in the game. Therefore it suffers from stupidly crippling weakness and unintuitive playstyle. The Odin has the lowest HP for a battleship at tier 8, at 52,000 HP, that's over 10,000 less HP than the Star Destroyer, and barely above an American cruiser that exists to satisfy American manchilds. This is because Wargaming knows that Warships will accept anything crippling as long as it's German. But it gets 32mm of plating, along with enough armor to bounce anything. But this is all just marketing to please the Warships, because the Odin has one major flaw that invalidates all other positives on the ship. It has the infamous shell catcher stern, made by genius who designed the Graf Spee. It might as well count as a third broadside, and while it's not exclusive to the Odin, you feel it a lot more given its pathetically low HP pool. So you want to keep it hidden by not showing that stern, which is impossible if you need to retreat or kite the enemy. So if you're here thinking it's gonna be a battleship that can cosplay as a cruiser by sniping from distance, this isn't the right ship, because you won't like the guns either. The 305mm guns is a direct upgrade from the Scharnhorst, but at tier 8, it's gonna bounce on everything. And don't let the improved accuracy fool you, because it still has battleship dispersion, which means these guns are just as trustworthy as an opinion made by someone with an anime avatar. It has great ballistic, but the low caliber and lightweight shell means it can't penetrate much armor, yet when it does, it would over-penetrate, because it has too much velocity. This is a frustrating gun, as not only it doesn't overmatch cruisers, it doesn't reload that much quicker compared to bigger guns with actual damage. This handicap constitutes the use of unfair advantage, and in World of Warships it means the usage of HE shells. Despite the low alpha, it's way better than overpen, with an added bonus of 27% fire chance. This is the only way to make the ship usable and less agonizing to use, allowing it to face roll the enemy, embrace the use of HE, and firebomb everything, because fire does not discriminate. If you stick to AP, you will led into believing that a paid actor will eventually come to compensate you, and they will come to make your day slightly better, but 90% of the time you're just fighting its depressively worthless gimmicks that constantly betrays you. So stop enslaving yourself and start becoming an asshole. If you want to perform, you want to make the enemy waste their shells and consumables against you. This means you have to be constantly visible, constantly shooting, and constantly become the focus. Here are the 3 key things to remember. Take improved repair party readiness, ignore the rear gun, and have an island as your companion. The captain skill is needed to further decrease repair party cooldown, and works best on the Odin because it has so little HP and faces increasingly higher DPM ships. You can get it down to a minute after a million potential damage, and you do this by keeping your bow pointing straight ahead at all time. Showing broadside, or a brief over-angling, is not an option, because it gets the thinnest belt armor among other German battleship, and managed to have worse turtleback than the Scharnhorst. It can't even shatter cruiser AP. I will blame this on the Grafsp once more for giving bad influence. At least it has a clear indicator to prevent big damaging hits. If you can't shoot the rear turret, you will bounce anything. So get in the habit of showing your bow towards the enemy while you get into position. You can pick any flank, as long as there is an island. You approach said island, beach the ship, and start shooting anything that moves. Being beside the island instead of behind it gives many benefits. It allows you to spot ships, it limits the amount of people shooting at you, and it gives a nice cover when you need to fall back. Islands are your best friend, more so for the Odin, as Odin players probably lack any real friends. This is standard tactic for any ship that has 2/3 of their firepower on the front, and the safest way to play the Odin, before you decide to be more adventurous. Once you grind enough enemy ships, you can push, find a new island, and repeat the process. Treat those islands like how you treat Middle European nations on your conquest for Greater Germany. You can also stay in open water if islands were too close to the middle. But no matter how you push, just make sure your bow is pointed to the biggest enemy ship. Most other German battleships have the ability to dynamically switch between attacking or defending, meaning they have the ability to sail away from a problem. The same thing can't be said to the Odin, because of its one simple handicap. Your only choice is standing your ground and hope for the best, or die a bit quicker. If you decide to kite the enemy, this is the reality you will be facing with the Odin. So to make you feel better, simply accept a losing game, as you don't have any control over bad matchmaking and luck anyway. Gaining more than a million potential damage is a sign that you have played the ship correctly. But if you're struggling to get it, you probably have been fighting people that know the Odin is very much a pushover. Seriously, performing well in this ship depends more on the enemy's stupidity rather than your skill. And let's not forget carriers and submarines that can easily dislodge you from your beloved islands. So, do you wish to continue? You might also notice that I have not mentioned anything about secondaries, because they are straight up bad, and serves as a trap for narrow-minded wereabouts. Again, do you wish to continue? And even if you put all efforts into making the gun better, you won't do more damage, as sacrificing tanking skills means you're more likely to die sooner. So for the last time, is this a ship you want to play? Fortunately, the Odin has both hydro and torpedoes. They are the only predictable thing on the ship, so take advantage of them whenever possible, especially the torpedoes, which have a very forgiving rear angle that allows the Odin to double tap any battleship. This is your only reliable source of damage, and you will forgive the terrible guns with a good torpedo hit. But now we reach the part of the video where taking torpedo hit is strictly forbidden. This is how you equip the false god. You take demolition expert, grease the gears, basic of survivability, and emergency repair expert. Then take fire prevention, improved repair party readiness, adrenaline rush, and finally emergency repair specialist. Alternatively, and for insurance purposes, you take secondary skills, then grind the rest of the points for fire prevention, so you can use the captain on other German battleships. For the upgrades you take main armament 1, damage control mod 1, aiming system, or secondary battery mod 1 if you're schizophrenic, then take damage control system mod 2, and concealment. Playing the Odin can make a person commit self-injury to themselves every time they miss a shot, because they know things will get worse. My experience with the Odin has been disappointing, despite having great games with it, and this is caused by the ship not being enjoyable to play, on top of high-tier gameplay. low HP, bad accuracy, weak guns, weak broadside, weak spot, and weak fighting spirit against HE spamming cruisers, carriers, and submarines. A chance to win is only possible if all of them happen to be driven by weekend casuals. The Odin does not get a challenge, the ship itself is the challenge. Perhaps German battle cruisers have spoiled me, perhaps the Tirpitz is actually too good, or perhaps I'm just tired of this game. My opinion remains, you have to be incredibly gullible to think this German battleship is worth playing, when there are many other premium German battleships to choose from. You want 12 guns, there's the Brandenburg, you want 15, there's the Anhalt. You want to make loads of credits, get a Pommern. Or you can save money by buying none of them, because I assume everyone has a Tirpitz on their account already. The Odin might look balanced on the spreadsheet, but I bet most Odin players are playing in survival mode instead of messing around and having actual fun, similar to Tiger 59. Except the Tiger 59 has a pretty good reason for existing. Fortunately, you can no longer obtain this ship, so I can't tell you to go out there and smash filthy casuals, but what you can do instead is smashing wereaboos who are so far up their asses to anything German.
Surprise, cockpit!
Unser Team hat die Führung übernommen.
Sodaに舞うと